have three champions that could possibly be better, at least one or two at that.
Let's jump in to that pick and ban phase. LFD going to start here on the left-hand side with first pick priority straight away. They said, you know what? We're pretty good at Darius, but also we don't want you to have it.
Well, looking at Darius ban as well as the Olaf and the Galio, basically LFD, they do not want a tanky frontliner and an initiator at that. So they're trying to wither down the possible choices for Team Flash.
Yeah, I have to agree. It's the Olaf ban is mainly saying looking for Daddy is probably gonna play double poke type, like an Ezreal, Corki, maybe even a Varus, because a Varus is just gonna be very sad up against an Olaf comp. So this is exactly what they decide to remove.
However, my problem here is they opened Ziggs and Renekton, and that went over straight to Team Flash. So you have one of the Holy Trinity from Riku's stats, and you also have a semi-global ult, a bomb that can just come at you wherever from the map.
Yeah, the Ziggs could actually go still towards dialing. Still could be a possibility, and then you pop in an Ahri for Ellie. We talked about the double assassins before. You supply the charm, and Joyce will come in with the finish. But of course, we're seeing a Lulu getting locked in. This is just perfect. The Wild Growth will either go towards Wolf on the Xin Zhao, maybe even towards the Akali for Wen, and for PP as well, depending on where these are going to go.
Oh, that is true. Ooh, okay. Team Flash, they're gonna lock in that Fizz. So we have two swimmers from Team Flash. But looking for Daddy, I like the possible damage output that they have. A lot of knockups, a lot of initiates basically for their side.
Yeah,
The horizon, Skimmy. We are here on a conquest where Team Flash is looking for the spark of brilliance. Lead the way. Well, for Daddy, it's gotta be on the conquest for a paternal figure. As we dive right into the rift. So, Omo, what do you think of the draft so far? We got some explosive picks coming in for looking for Daddy, while Team Flash tries to match with that one.
Well, Contra, I think the draft doesn't matter. I want to call back to your intro here. What was that about a paternal figure for LFD? Okay, regardless, that was a pretty good setup. But I think the main thing we want to pay attention to here is how did all these picks get through ban phase? There's a Ziggs, there's a Camille, Renekton top. What did these two teams ban? That's my question here.
Yeah, like we look back to Team Flash as well as LFD's style of ban. It felt like they just want to open things up and see what can we actually get out of it. So Akali, it's been a long while since we see her back into popularity. So with those sort of nerfs, do you feel like she's just unplayable in the early game, or how's it gonna be like for Wen on LFD?
She's definitely not unplayable, but she does lose a lot of her power. I think the only situations you would pick her is if you feel really confident with the pick, first of all. You must be feeling it, because this is a mechanically extremely intensive champion, and you think it fits the draft. Now, for me, I don't think this is exactly what you would say fitting the draft. It's not exactly many easy targets for her to assassinate. So I don't know if this is the best Akali game. What I really do like for LFD is their Baron setup and their Dragon setup. Lucian Lulu, always gonna be strong, and I think this is one of the only lanes that can truly punish a Ziggs lane. In the Baron lane, Camille, can't go wrong with that one. Xin Zhao, can't go wrong with that one. It's just solid picks all around.
Yeah, I really like the draft coming from LFD so far. They got it going. They can't easily lock one member down and overwhelm them with a burst of damage if they were to go in for a collision. So with the ward that we initially saw, spotted out those rotation coming in. We're not expecting all too much to come right by, but Wolf is going to be going in for a setup. That's the flash. That's the spear on top of it all. And that should be first blood. Secured for Wolf.
Does he drop?
What's wrong with the line as well? Well, an eye for an eye.
An eye for an eye indeed. I do believe PP ends up losing a little bit of farm there as well. So I would say Shy, he's happy with this. I think the analyst best touched on how important Shy is for Flash. This guy is one of the main carries, one of their star performers, and he's one of the best Baron laners in Vietnam as a whole. He needs to make sure that he gets a lead in this matchup. If not, Camille can just run the show, and he's doing exactly that. He gets taken down, manages to trade 1-for-1, and he's still 400 gold up.
Yeah, I think that's really vital. If you're going to be losing out, might as well just trade right there. So this Renekton just going to be able to be that lane bully that he's designed to do. And what can Camille actually respond with so long as she doesn't get that element? But speaking of that, X ultimatum is up, and we're in for round 2. Shy dropping low as well with suppressive sweep.
Oh no.
His pretty darn low, and with the knockup that will force Joyce to just flash right away. Team Flash, they managed to survive, but still gonna be quite costly when it comes down to the summoners.
Very, very iffy situation for Team Flash. Like you mentioned, they do have to flash. And Shy and Joyce, they nearly took that one, but a little bit not enough. A little bit lacking in damage. Wolf on that Sin Tower, with the lead that he has, is tanky and does damage. That's kind of the whole point of Sin, right? He goes in, he does a bunch of damage, and he can't kill. That's exactly what we're seeing. What I do like so far from both of these teams, they correctly identify Baron lane is the core of the game. This whole game is going to hinge on that matchup, and we need to play around that. Now, Wan's going to drop.
Oh, that's some hot takes right there. Perfect execution, not enough to take down Ellie. With only a slither HP left, I think that was a great chum of waters that have landed.
Yeah, it definitely is a very nice chunk of waters. He punishes Ellie appropriately. The way this matchup needs to interact is you have to be so fast as the Akali. The moment Fizz goes in with the first skill, you must be immediately ready to use your third skill to cancel, dodge out, and proc your passive. This needs to be... You need to be able to accurately replicate that basically every trait if you want to comfortably play this matchup. If not, we will just see a repeat of what we just saw. Ellie's just going to dash in on you and kill you.
And from what I've witnessed, that's a level 4 or 4 minutes of play. And we're seeing Rabadon's stat cap on Ellie already. Meanwhile, PP with some big energy, but he still falls right over in the Baron lane. And Shy is just looking to dominate.
Yeah, Shy, we always talk about this guy. He is the key player of Team Flash. He's popping off. Ellie in the solo lane as well is popping off. You'll fight though.
Coming in with the barrier. How long can he survive? The Sentao goes down right first. Juan still looking for chase.
No.
Well, there will be the wall growth that saves him for a tad bit. The one with a very optimistic approach. It doesn't seem all too much, but she gets caught out as well. Here comes back that ultimatum. Ellie dropping low. Emily gets popped. And looking for Daddy to give chase. And I guess they will reset from here.
Yeah, and Joyce will be able to get out of that situation. It looks a bit messy. They traded kills back and forth. But pay attention to the map contra. While all of this is going on, Shy got the Baron lane turret for free. PP sacrificed his flash and his turret to come down and kill. If I was this Fizz right now, I'd be typing Wolf in all chat.
Yeah, you just gotta go all BM if that's gonna be it.
No, it just makes no sense, right? It's a really not worth play. It's pretty dumb.
Yeah, like, I look at that sort of situation and I'm like thinking, you know, LFD, they're just kind of overzealous right now. They're giving a little bit more leeway for Team Flash. And now working on the Herald.
Working on the Herald, this is probably going to net them a second turret as well. Just keep in mind, while the stars on side of Team Flash that are shining right now. Okay, that's fine.
Wolf, Emily gets jumped on. PP's gonna fall right next. Shy, just playing such a solid match that I think this is gonna be pretty hard for the Camille to do anything at this point.
Yes. I think if you look at the gold right now, he's probably close to double of what PP has. This is going to get accelerated out of control. And this comes back to the point we were making, right? Shy, Joyce, Ellie. The solo lanes and the assassins are popping off. They are the shining stars of Flash. But don't forget, there's always the Ziggs. He's the backup plan. He has the Inferno Bomb. He has the Satchel Charge. So if you get this Rift Herald, which Team Flash did, it's on Joyce right now, he's going to flop that down into a Satchel Charge. That's going to be another turret for Flash. If they break the mid lane open, this double assassin team comp can just take over the game.
Yeah, just overwhelming them with a lot of all these fast-paced decisions. Team Flash is in the driver's seat right now, 6-2, and having a 5,000 goal lead in such a short duration is absolutely impressive. Now, that definitely doesn't surprise all the analysts on the desk. But I'm honestly hoping for something more coming from looking for Daddy, because if we look at the potential, it looks quite alright, but Juan just got to start showing up.
Yeah, he needs to start showing up because a lot of the team comp is based on him. That is true. The Lulu can buff him, but the Lulu can also buff the Sin Zhao, right? But the Sin Zhao being behind makes it so hard. And he has truly buff targets. Only one is viable right now. Only the Lucian is truly a viable target for you to buff up and hope he can carry a team fight. This is going to be a dragon as well for Team Flash.
Goes absolutely for free, Team Flash. we'll have the rest of the members of Looking for Daddy hugging underneath the turret, chum the water, hits onto Win, and look at his HP bar. That's 50%. And you got nothing to do. You just got to go back to the base, or else, if the Kha'Zix is anywhere close, which thankfully it's not, he's just going to be taken out.
Yeah, and there's so many things to take note of as well, right? Sure, you have the double assassins to come in and kill them, like you mentioned, but you know what's great about Flash's team comp? You don't even need to go in with your assassins. You throw the Chum the Waters, and guess what's coming on top of that? It's the Super Mega Inferno Bomb. That's gonna take out any squishy 100-0.
Yeah, I think this is a crazy competition that they managed to draft out and somehow got away with it. And same goes to Win, who can't even handle the Renekton's pressure, which I doubt Wolf will be able to do so, but he will be able to defend for a tad longer. Now, I think this is way too much. Once more, I want to look at the items again. What does Shy have? But meanwhile, we have one turning golden as the turret crumbles. Team Flash takes out all the tier 1 within span of 8 minutes.
Yeah, indeed, Contra. This is just domination from Team Flash. They've looked at their compatriots from the Vietnam region. They look at Divine eSports. They look at Saigon Phantoms. They say, we're going to succeed where you guys have failed. We're going to take down our opposition. And this is going to be Vietnam 4 against Taiwan 3 at that. The Taiwanese second seed did take down the Vietnamese third seed prior to this, but they kind of want to avenge their countrymen, and they want to make sure, they want to leave a statement saying, Vietnam is here to play. We might not be the second seed or the third seed, but we can qualify for the group stages.
Quite a redemption arc, if you ask me. And Team Flash probably can fly the flags up high with such a performance, but it's still really too early to tell in this whole series. It could still possibly go 5 games. And just to get the drafts, I think that Looking for Daddy has great ideas, just that they gotta clean things up a bit.
They do. They have several great ideas. Their team name is not one of them, but they do have some good ideas within the draft. I can't agree with that. But I'm also a big believer in patterns and trends, and we've only seen trios today. I think we have reason to believe this is a very likely trio yet again. They're inspired, by the last 2 games. They gotta run it.
Well, I guess that's a very positive trajectory for the hopes.
Indeed.
And meanwhile, we have something happening over the mid side. When Wen turns golden, well, Joyce easily gets a kill off, and it feels like Looking for Daddy is slowly losing the plot here. They need to look for more opportunities than their daddies right now. Here comes Chum the Waters and also the tidal wave. Now they're all catching him up mid-air. While Wolf trying to hang on here. Is there going to be any Hextech ultimate at all? Well, Ellie just teases them for a tad bit longer. Tier 2's about to fall. They have to let this go.
They do indeed, and I really love the mind games coming through from Team Flash. They popped the Rift Herald at the bottom lane. I was kind of going to make a comment about that. I was going to say, why did you guys pop this down if there's no wave, if there's no follow-up? But they manipulated the members of LFD to go to the Dragon lane, defend the Herald push, and they dived mid as 5. Really good stuff from Team Flash. I'm happy to see their decision-making at least looks on point right now.
Yeah, just knowing what their strengths are, play towards it, and they're not going to be getting a hit anytime soon. You look at this Akali, buying scrap items out there, not completing the Lich Bane, not finish up the Landries as well. It's quite a tough look, especially when you already have on the opposing end a 9,000 lead on this, well, I can't say 9,000 lead, 9,000 goal on Ellie right now. Lich Bane, grab on Death Cap. It's basically 100-0 for anybody who gets caught.
Oh, it's definitely 100-0. The only one that might survive it is Sinzao with the Sterak's Gauge or someone with the Wild Growth on them. But like we mentioned, right? He's not alone. He's not going to be diving in alone. There's a Renekton, there's a Kha'Zix, and there's a Super Mega Inferno Bomb. There's tidal waves coming in. And as we all know how water types work, when the tidal waves come in, the fish is going to get stronger. The fish is poised to just take down the backline. Kha'Zix as well with 90,000 gold poised to take down the backline. Look at this Renekton, he's close to his GA, he's close to his Sterak's Gauge, has the components ready to go. 4,000 gold lead over.
So is Looking for Daddy. They lock in with the Hextech ultimatum while there is the Wild Growth on top. Wolf survives, while PP does not. Now, Flash, they got what they needed for now, and they should be able to get one more turret off the bot.
They definitely should. I feel like this should be just no problem for them. Satchel Charge comes in, cleans that one up. Joyce tries to find a little bit more, but it's a bit ambitious. And look at that, across the map. This is just complete and utter domination. They are just doing their due diligence, taking every turret out, not going for overdives. They saw what happened to Divine on day one when they got a bit too cocky after getting some kills. And, you know, this is just looking like a very dominant performance from Team Flash.
Indeed it is, and classically, if you look at Vietnam as a region, they love this style of play. They like to play hyper-aggressive and punish teams that, you know, once it's time to safely farm up and looking for Daddy. Needs to start adapting. Here comes Joyce, jumping right in. Johan begins to get out to 50%. Millie goes in for a flash barrier, and with the Airy, takes down the Christian who has burned it all. My word, look at that.
Look, he used everything. Even the Wild Growth was committed and it couldn't save him.
PP.
Nothing's gonna save PP too.
Ah.
That's life. They used their flash, they used their barrier, they used their ultimates. Nothing can stop the wave of flash.
Joyce once again, it's gonna be one to try to run away, but it's Shy with no fright under the turret. They didn't see the crocodile there hunting them out, and quickly as it goes by, a flash, Team Flash, crushes up the inhibitor, and they may actually look for the game as well.
They definitely could, but they're gonna cross their T's and dot their I's. They're gonna take out all the turrets, all the inhibitors, and it looks like they're going for one more reset right here, or not.
Oh boy, this one stun is all it took, and with the element coming in, Mega Infernal Bomb will secure it for Illing. Well, at first I had a little concern for Team Flash, because they don't really have any sort of DPS going on, but with this overwhelming burst potential, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, it's a great fight comp, right? It's a great comp to skirmish. It's a great comp to team fight. They run at you, the bombs come in from the Ziggs, they have double assassins. Kha'Zix can reset, Renekton can slice and dice. They just get on your backline so very well. And don't forget the gold leads that they managed to accrue in the early game. They ran a skirmish heavy comp. Unfortunate here for Ellie. That would have been a one-shot.
Yeah, but it definitely gets a little bit tricky when you have Fuchaka available for TP. Now Team Flash working on the Baron already. Absolutely emptying board onto looking for that east side, so they won't be able to set their sights here. They'll have to give way regardless as you look at the third wave pushing from the side lanes, and Team Flash looking to close the game.
Yeah, it's just very free for Team Flash right now, right? Renekton's pushing one side lane, Ali's pushing another side lane on this Fizz. Kha'Zix basically one-shots Baron. Yeah, that's Ziggs right there. This is the combo.
Here comes Tidal Wave, and that's what they needed. Looking for Daddy. Eventually crumble down while Team Flash, they look to ace them out, but that's not necessary. The Minions will take this game for Team Flash with the lead.
There's the reason they're called Team Flash.
There is a major threat here in the play-ins. We did the highlight, a profile on him. And as we jump into that pick and ban phase for game number 2, what are they going to do to address him?
They're looking for Daddy right now. Still sticking with the Olaf ban, meaning that they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to play the Jarvan just for that soft counter. And they can open the possibility of forming this double poke composition now that the Ziggs is out. Varus is still open for the taking, so Juan can select that later on. Will they Renekton first pick? There you go. They take that away from Shy, but we talked about this. Riven can still be the second best option in top.
Right on cue, there is the Renekton, but no, Team Flash, they have their eyes on this Camille. I mean, okay, I was about to say it still could be the jungler, but no, Team Flash, they picked up Camille and Lee Sin. What does suppressive jungle and Baron lane combo?
Yeah, it's super duper strong. A lot of the single targets, level 5, Hextech Ultimatum, and the Dragon's Rage for the setup. So I feel really scared for PP already, but the response is great. They also respond with single targets. That means that Shy could also be a primary target here with the Assault and Battery.
Ooh. Well, Varus did come up into the draft as well as an Alistar. I already imagine a lot of Assault and Battery being committed onto Varus. Still could go over to the Dragon Lane side, could be Flex in the mid, I don't know. I'm still waiting for the possible matchup here. But LFD, finally they picked up a Corki.
Yeah, that's going to be big range. That means this is what they picked to rival the poke that Dialing is going to deal out later on. But the biggest difference is Dialing can be already relevant in the early game, in the laning phase, with just a ton of piercing arrows. There's the Jarvan 4 we were talking about, and this could be potentially top Jarvan or mid lane Jarvan. We talked about this before. Wen can play top lane picks that can be usually found on top into the mid lane, but there's the finish. It's an assassin for Ellie here on the Ahri.
Looks like it will be Ari at the mid lane and Varus for the jungle lane side. So a lot of single targeted skills for Team Flash. Looks like they want to balance the pick-off and team fight composition here.
I can't help but think here, though, Riku, that we're looking at the compositions. Yes, we still kept looking for Daddy on the blue side for that first pick priority, and they have gone for the Renekton, which is what we really want to see. Give PP some agency in this early game to try and pop off and get the ball rolling, be that rock in the top for them to rely upon. But stylistically, they both look quite similar. I mean, you've got a heavy engaging jungler, be it the Xin Zhao, this case it's the Vi. You've got the scaling, which would have been the Camille last game in the Corki. You've got the tools to try and get the job done early to stabilize. But, I mean, the same could be said. Sure, you ban away the Ziggs, but the Varus is going to serve a very similar process. Who knows what's going to happen? It's game number 2. Let's throw it to our casters.
Thank you very much once again, our dear panelists, as we are ready for looking for daddies. Come up here if they could find a little bit more of a vantage point heading into our second game against Team Flash.
Yeah, and I love what we're seeing from both of these teams here, like our analyst mentioned. Some very nice adaptations, but my main takeaway from this is that you gotta give PP some initiative, and I think that that's just hilariously true. If you look at the side of Team Flash right now, though, Shy has the Camille. I really like this. They are trading Renekton for Camille. This really brings the question, is it worth it? To me, it's a no. Camille's a better pick, it's stronger. You got dumpstered by it, it doesn't mean that Camille beats Renekton. It just means that you misplaced the matchup and you need to do it better next time. I can understand why you would want to prioritize this, but look at this, it's not a counter pick, guys. Not a Wild Rift. You cannot break his shield. You don't counter him.
Well, if that's going to be the case, does it really mean that the Renekton will just undoubtedly lose this lane? It definitely depends, because we saw how Shy played in the last round. I think it was still a decent match here, where PP could just wait for a gank coming from the Jarvan, but for the time being, it's very unlikely, as Wolf is pathing to the spot.
Yeah, Wolf is perfect for bot lane. They're just going to be trading sides of the map. And honestly, if you look at the wave state of the Baron laner right now, this could be a potential dive on the Renekton. Looks like they're considering it, but I think when he smells this, he wants to come and cover.
PP right under the turret here. Can he slice his way out of the situation as they get jumped right on? PP now brought down low. He brings the flash over, and it will be connected here with Flag and Drag, looking for Joyce, but he's kind of stuck right now. What will go down? It's 2 kills going over to looking for, well, Team Flash looking for that. He gets 1 as well, and now he's by the corner of the wall. It doesn't seem like they're ending this fight just about yet. Ellie has to flash away. He's out of mana already, and Wolf goes down. Make that 3 for Team Flash.
3 for 1 for Team Flash, and they bring their ADC up as well. Their Dragon Laner is here for some reason. I think it was a reset timing for Juan, and just nice, he tries to find a window to rotate and help his team. Messes up the ward. He doesn't stop the reset. It's just disaster after disaster for LFD. Nami over here gonna be showcased up EXP for herself, but that means that Juan is gonna be falling behind across the board every single lane, losing out for Team Flash.
Yeah, and you look at how quickly Team Flash tries to look for another setup over the bot side as well. But that is a little bit of a odd situation for looking for that. They invested quite a lot just to save PP, which is fine. Just let him go. And you're not going to get too much of a push coming from Joyce as well as Shy in the initial stages. So I think it's just a bad call.
It's a tough call, right? It's a tough call, right? Because I think if you give your Renekton, if you sell your Renekton like that and he loses that wave, the dying is not the main part, right? But if he loses that wave, Camille's gonna run the game. But if you go to save him and something like that happens, the game's basically over, right? At this point, if you're looking at the game state, I think it's fair to say it's close to over unless Flash throw. It's really a catch-22. If you don't go save him, you're done for. If you go save him and you mess up, you're done for. So the solution is really that simple. Next time, play better on the side of LFD.
Oof. Well, I hope they could actually do so within the series.
Words of wisdom. Yeah.
And
it's not over yet.
I guess it may not just be Shy.
Oh, they want to dive themselves.
And he's
all men coming up, but he has no wave control.
One's just gonna be falling right by, but the rest of Team Flash got some answers at the back as well. Here comes the charm, and that's gonna be a blast cone right on top. Assault battery, tidal wave, everything connects. while Glory looks to hunt out Wolves, but he's not going to be all alone. Will still be taken out. Shy locks them down with a hacks that ultimate. Chi has to flash away. Here comes Stilling over the wall. Chains of corruption, and Juan can only look right by. And guess what? Not only did they get all of his kills, they will be looking for this Herald too.
And Contra, we thought the first game of the series was one-sided. We thought that was a stomp in favor of Team Flash. This game, it's so much more one-sided. Every single skirmish, every single little trade even, has gone completely the way of Team Flash. And this is what we expected to see coming in from our other Vietnamese seeds as well, but they weren't quite able to pull it off. Team Flash here, delivering on what we expected from the Vietnamese region, aggressive and punishing. A bit of a misplay there, I would say, from the side of PP. He gave wave control over to Shy, and that alone stopped the dive from happening and allowed all those events to occur.
And that's going to be Smite to secure, looking for that. He gets the Drake, but instead hit by Pulverize on top of the Nami. Now it's going to be one there that will be kicked right back. Calculated to march up ahead, but that will buy only slightly, so it's much of a time. And when will be the next one to fall? Jarvan Mid. Let's talk about this matchup against an Ari, right? Now, this Herald's just gonna run it right there. So, I think that regardless, that result is definitely not gonna be all too much, and that's Valkyrie all the way backward, as Twan survives, and Glory will take a little bit of damage coming in from the turret, while Chi is the next one on the chopping block. It's a rampage for Shy, and this one will keep on continuing.
Herald's gonna bang again.
Well, that's a double coming in from PP. And Ellie, that's to the wall. I think that will still be him going down to wall.
Alright, sure. A bit of a consolation prize here for the side of LFD. They pick up 2-3 quick kills. It's a little bit of a gold swing back in their favor, but they lost their tier 2 turret at 6 minutes. Contra. This game, I mean, I know we want to talk about like this matchup, that matchup, but honestly speaking, they are just outclassed.
Yeah.
Team Flash, they look a cut above.
They definitely look a cut above at the moment. Glory D has no regards. He doesn't care how many LFD members are in front of him. Just look at this guy. He
can't die.
Yeah.
He cannot die.
He's got his ult available, and
soon, yeah.
He's got the gargoyle, and if the support's gonna be a lot richer than a few of these members, I think that's kind of okay. You can still deal with it, but you just look at the lead for this Camille. It's just overpowered.
That's the big one, right? Yeah, that's the big one. The lead for the Camille. If you look at the lead for Dialing here on this Varus as well, he's so far ahead. And we all know what a Varus can do. When you poke him in the mid lane with a couple of items, he can just run the show in mid lane. He'll just poke you out, he'll clear waves instantly. It's quite oppressive to deal with, honestly, and having full mid control just allows this to happen. Look at the minimap right now. They shoved the mid wave, 3 members coming down to the Dragon lane, and they're gonna die from this wave once again with Shy. I love this.
Glory D just looking for his target. He aims for the PP, and that's where Tidal Wave connects. And that is double knockup, but still, PP goes down.
PP does indeed, and Ellie's looking for more at the mid lane here. We're not quite gonna see the fight. There we go.
Ellie now getting caught up. Assault Battery confirms the kill. Looking for Daddy, coming with a consolation of their own.
Yep.
But can they actually shove the wave? There's only 2 minions though.
Nope.
And what can they get out? 1 plate.
That's it. 1 plate.
That's
it. 1 plate, right? They get the kill into Ellie, but the moment Zhonya's Hourglass start coming out, there we go. Joyce picks up the first one. Shy picks up the second. When Ellie picks up the third, there's gonna be no more Vi out targets. It's gonna get to the point where Dialing will also have a Zhonya's, and what are you gonna do as a Vi? Are you gonna out Alistair? It leaves you with so few options, right? And this is kind of what we talked about in one of the previous games as well, Contra. Vi as a champion is so one-dimensional. There are so many counters. There's a very limited thing you can do. You go in, that's it.
Yeah.
Once you go in, there's no coming out. If they Zhonya's, you're done for.
Indeed. Now, PP possibly will be able to hold up a split push for his own liking. And all they have to do, they just send the bot lane at them and like, okay, he has to back away.
Exactly. Yeah, and they're just running the show right now, Team Flash. Every single lane is pushing in. They have full confidence. They don't care about numbers advantages. They don't care about getting favorable matchups. They don't even say we need to match. Okay.
Hextech Omen under turret. Am I really saying this correct? And that comes Tidal Wave onto Juan. And Jai locks them right in. And that's where Camille just slowly slides away. That final lance will be able to do the trick. Now they manage to get a lock on to the target that they want. Ellie goes down, but still, they might lose the Drake for this.
Okay, that was a mistake there for the side of Team Flash. I was gonna say, it no longer matters your lane assignments, your setups. As long as you go in, you will win the fight, barring a huge misplay, right? But I guess we're not quite at that stage yet. They still need the numbers advantage. They need Alistair. They need Varus to be able to push and move. Now this might be a big mistake for LFD.
LFD having 2 members inside of the pit. Here comes the Valkyrie as well. They're working on the Drake. That must just be a steal, but Joyce turns gold, and instead looking for that. He secures the second Drake while the fight commences. Florida will be in the front line of the defense. While Joyce goes in for the chase, they aim down low, and one is kind of caught in an awkward position, and that's where our PP goes down once more.
Baron is up in 8. Do they want to try to rush this? Do they want to make a beeline there? It seems like that's not the case. Sad.
Yeah, maybe not so soon, but eventually Team Flash will do so. I've never seen any mid laner throughout the championship to rush for a Guardian Angel as first item.
Yes, but to be fair, we've only seen, I think, one other Javan mid lane, right? So I guess this one kind of fits. And you know what the funny thing is, Contra? Ever since he bought the GAs, he stopped dying. He hasn't had to pop it.
Indeed, and now he actually gets one member locked on. Glory now getting the tidal wave on his side, but it's going to be Dilling, the first one to fall. Glory, he tries to flash on the wall, and Team Flash looking even more sloppy. They overstate their welcome, and they can't even do the Baron for now.
This is so frustrating to watch. If you look at Team Flash, and this is kind of the point I was making about Vietnamese teams as well, right? What are they good at? They're good at fighting, skirmishing, finding leads. What are they not good at? Playing macro, not making mistakes, and solidifying your lead and closing out the game. That's what we're seeing right now. They found the lead effortlessly. They stomped LFD in the early game. But now they're just throwing and throwing and throwing.
Hextech elevated onto PP. He uses the dominance immediately, and that will buy him a little bit more time. And I'm kind of curious, though. I was taking a look at the min-map, and Wolf is all the way down bot. Maybe he could have actually contributed if he were to be around.
Possible for sure, right? He definitely could have tried to make a trip over. The main thing I want to focus on this game is we need to look at Team Flash's lane assignments at this point. They had such a lead that, honestly, they didn't really need to care about that anymore, but we've reached a point in the game where it's even enough and it's relevant enough. And with the comp that LFD has, so punishing if you overextend, especially with an immobile ADC like Varus. If they get on you, you're gonna die. Right? So you have to be very careful that you have numbers around your Varus to keep him safe and leave your Camille to split push. But Vi wants him.
Oh, meanwhile, as he flashes away, that's going to be Assault Battery connecting, I do believe. But there's a catch! Emile taking down the Corki, and Ellie will definitely rush right in. That trade definitely looks better for Team Flash now that they're working on the inhib. Oh, Pulverize on top. Win has to flash. Here comes Flag and Drag. And with the flag, Wolf gets what he needed. Assault Barrier will connect. It's a killing spree for Wolf. Looking for the double as well. And Team Flash is slowly crumbling.
This is Baron, by the way, Contra. They're gonna get Baron off of that play. Team Flash making way too many mistakes, and now their hopes lie in a steal from the side of Joyce.
There might just be a little bit of a slight chance right now, but we are having PP to look over the wall. That will keep him alive, and he immediately jumps over, buys a little few seconds off, and he saves down away, buying a bit more time. Here comes Dragon's Rage. He's looking for Wolf, but he will still fall, and that's Baron for LFD.
What am I watching? Team Flash, they are giving me divine eSports flashbacks right now. Winning the game 1, throwing the game 2, and then getting stomped from there. Team Flash, don't repeat history here. This is so disappointing. They're just making too many mistakes. They're just getting caught in places they should not be. And the key members who need to have genres to dodge out on the Vi engage are not buying it. Ahri staying on the Proto Belt. Varus is staying on the Twin Shadows. And this is what's punishing them. Poor itemization, being greedy with their enchantments given that they had a lead. They didn't want to just negate the Vi completely. Now they're going to lose mid.
That's a really good knock-up here from Gordy just to buy a little bit more space as Team Flash opts to back away. Flash is not being expended, so I think that's gonna, but the split push is coming right in effect. Yep. So Team Flash, they still get that tier 2 down, but LFD, they're working on the Drake, and I guess LFD is still trying to prove you wrong right here. Now they're going for a flank. Might just be a catch onto Joyce, but
Vi has ulti.
Completely negated for Demo.
Big wave there in the Dragon lane, so that's just gonna be Shy going down to catch that one. I do want to point out, though they've been throwing, the gold lead from Shy is still exceptionally huge. This guy can still run the game. We're basically in an even game state where that early game never happened, right? We're assuming that early game never happened because at this point, after all the throws, it basically didn't. So it all comes down to Shy, how well he can navigate his split push, and how well the members of Team Flash, including Shy, can dodge out of the 5 force attempts with the ultimate.
That's right. After a few botch fights, Team Flash now seeing the current state of the game to be quite even up. Relying too much on the Camille though, but look at the rest of Team Flash. They're coming right in as well. Hex that ultimate now locks onto Wolf. He turns golden, and now everybody is in the Thunderdome. Where's help when you need him? LFD, they're not looking for this spike. They're having that mid lane base shove. A little bit of a difference in priorities, but Flash, they send for members, and they're still chasing right in. Well, there's a 1v1 on both dual laners over mid.
Yeah, both marksman and mid lane just duking it out a little bit. It's getting to the point in the game where Cocky is nearly stronger. Nice kick.
Oh boy, he outtrains him! Joy's now in trouble! Finds some space. Flority goes stopping headfirst, and the Alistair will still be able to secure the kill onto the Corki. He tries to walk out of it. Not gonna be enough.
Yeah, they lose 2 for 1. It was a bit greedy there from Joyce. He didn't anticipate the barrier coming in from 1.
Shy?
This is gonna be Shy.
Locking Chi, and now there's nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, but Dilling, he's having his health chunk down. Well, that's one more for Shy. And LFD, they're losing everybody else. Shy doesn't really have mana, but can Wolf save the day? He's coming for the flank, assault battery. He might take the fruits away, but Wolf continues to pummel him down. And Wolf walks in their health. It is a turnaround looking for Daddy. We'll be able to shut them up.
We have a dead even game on our hands, Contra. 18 to 18 in 60 minutes, more than 2 kills a minute. This is the kind of game we are looking for. It's fun to watch. Might not be the cleanest, might be a bunch of mistakes from both of these teams, but it's so much fun to watch. And we nearly saw the Shy show. We nearly saw an episode of the Shy just running amok across the members of LFD, but he wasn't quite able to do that. Gets taken down by the Assault and Battery. And talk about how important that buy out here is. 2 TPs committed.
Already, base checks hit Cyprin first, and now they're trying to make him into a Kobe beef to be cooked up. Now, too much focus. Look at the bottom lane. Split push going on.
No,
they take down the Alistair. Do they have time, though? PP, can he handle it all alone?
I think the Shy will take this down to a really, really low health. Probably doesn't pick it up, but he can go kick it once more. One more wave, he'll get blocked. One more wave, he'll get hit. Oh, and delaying. He's the Zhonya's man.
Oh, man. Now, Team Flash, they're just all over the place. 2 members caught out. Nowhere to go. One now getting pretty huge. And same goes to PP, right? Now, going to late game, he's building full damage item. He's gonna be a big boy right now, but the split push is still coming in.
Yeah, look at Ellie, he's coming down. Look at Ellie right now. They need to 2-man this. Chi's gonna come back to try to save his Renekton, but it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be Baron for inhib.
Oh my.
And it's 2 inhibs. They broke the base. The whole base is naked.
And he's still doing it. Ellie as well, Shy. They're on a different mission here. It feels like a little bit of a mixed priorities from these two teams. But Juan goes in, checking in onto Shy as they try to actually get a catch onto Ellie. Somehow he survives. Now they connect with the taunt.
Oh,
and
no.
That's going to be the Corki taken out while this fight continues. Wolf will be able to flush them off, and this is Elder Drake looking for Daddy. They don't really care about the base. They might actually try to secure the Elder Drake, but now falling right back.
Waves. Yeah, they have no marksman. The Corki has died, and they have no waves. The waves are all shoving to their base with the super creeps. We saw this before, Contra. On day 1 of the C Championship play-ins, we saw one of these teams, I think it was Invade, win by super creeps. Just purely off the creep waves, pushing into the base while they dance an objective. This is the same thing all over again. They cannot contest this because of their base.
Right, Wolf now checking into the Dragon Pit while this Glory D there. Not the target that they want to pick on, but Wolf tries to commit towards their end. Chain of Corruption lands on top while the TP play is happening. It's about Shy here, pulling them back. And now looking for Daddy. They're all split up with another takedown on the turret. Here comes the TP as well. Glory D going in for round 2, but he immediately goes in for the ultimate with the unbreakable chain. That charm lands onto Wolf. Somehow, looking for Daddy, they don't want to let go of the Drake. But Ellie, they're looking for Chi as well. Not right in. Well, this is the Richten. Just trying to hold him on while the kill happens here on that tri-brush. With both the Alistar taken down as well.
Oh, that's
and
good.
This might just be the game here, but they're still not going off. This fight extends. Wolf finding a little bit more room while Shy is waiting to trade. The Renekton is falling flat. He does not have that much of HP, but where are the minions when you need them the most? LFD somehow
They lost?
state, and somehow Team Flash, they all get taken down, leaving only this Camille here to fend things off. And he pay a visit. Wolf doesn't have that much
want
health.
to win the game. He wants the kills.
Shy dropping a little bit more of a surprise here, but Wolf still has the GA. Hook shot connects onto one. Now it is a little bit of a pickle of a dance, and here comes the TP looking for Daddy. They might send even more members, but this is still that Drake to take, and Shy still hanging on. He still has the flash. How long can he survive? I guess that's about enough for the minutes to end the game.
I thought Shy could have ended the game, but he came over to
So rooting for LFD to try and make that change. Possibly they could get Lee Sin for themselves. However, again, Team Flash, they will most likely have at least not Lee Sin Prio, but a Lee Sin ban.
Yeah, Team Flash has massive respect already on this pick just because of the dive potential it can do. And most likely towards the side of mainly top side. Curious to see if Camille's gonna get banned. There it is. That means the Renekton first pick can still be available. Team Flash can opt for a Xin Zhao in the jungle. It still works similarly like that strong skirmish. Olaf as well can be picked up by LFD now that it's open. Oh wait, no, hold a thought.
It's
It
banned.
is banned by LFD. It's the Ziggs first pick for them.
They still want that very scary APC up. And again, I told you, LFD, they could run the Ziggs and Braum combo down at the Dragon Lane side. Let's see if that's what's gonna happen. However, Team Flash, right after they locked in that connection, they have their eyes on the queen of the late game, which is Kaisa, and a Charmer to pair her off.
Wow, this means Team Flash is going full aggressive, not even worried about the aggression coming from LFD, because usually Kaisa can be a bit vulnerable in the early game, usually paired with a Janna, just for that disengage, just for that safety, but look at that. Yuko, you mentioned Darius. We're going to see it either in the mid lane perhaps, or towards the top lane as we see PP play that possibly.
Please be in the Baron lane. Please be in the Baron lane. But yeah, now we have lock-in on Irelia for Team Flash. But the first ASOL for the day. Wow, Team Flash with the flashy draft.
Yeah, they're going for the side lane pressure. I mean, it ain't a Twisted Fate, it ain't a Galio, but it does its job, just flying across the map, setting up with the stuns, and then just catching you off guard. LFD this time, you know, Wolf had a phenomenal job, did a phenomenal job actually in the Vi pick. I mean, why not pick it again for this game number 3?
My, what about a curveball here, Yuko? I mean, you're talking about we wanted to see the Darius, we wanted to see the Jarvan once again look to try and be that initiating target. And I like the fact that they've gone this direction, that they've opened up with the Ziggs and the Braum first of all, because it's like, hey, we know that Flash want to be aggressive, so let's lock them in place, hit them with CC. What are they going to do about it? Run it back with the Vi again, let Wolf try and pop off. But I have to say, the show has been completely stolen here by the Aurelian Slow. Team Flash, they want to be flashy. They want to go out with a bang. They want to showcase that, hey, we can play hard to play champions. We can do it all. And I tell you what, if they can end it on a banger note like this with a 3-0, then we are in for a treat. I believe our casters are ready, so it's time to check in with them once again. Let's throw it over to our casting team.
Well, we're going to be looking across the galaxy for Daddy because LFD definitely needs all the help that they can get to take wins away from Team Flash. Now, that's an Aurelian Soul up the mid lane.
Yes,
the first in a long while. Omo, how does this work?
Well, Contra, there's a lot of things that we need to look at in this draft, and let's start off with the side of LFD. Some things I like, some things I don't like, right? What I do like, Wolf and Wen, Vi and Jarvan, very good combo. They were the most successful parts of the Flash lineup last game. That's partly also because they were playing against an mobile marksman in the form of Varus. Every time they jumped on him, he would die. This time around though, they're going up against a Rakan Kai'Sa combo, which is so hard to kill. You cannot punish her with Cataclysm, and it's so hard to use Vi ultimate to lock her down as well. That's the bad part of the draft for LFD. Now, let's talk about this other side of the map. For the side of Team Flash here, they've opted for the Irelia into Darius matchup. And if you mechanically max this, like if you play this matchups to its limits, you can stomp it as an Irelia, but you must play it very well. And for that to happen, they had to put Renekton into the jungle. It's gonna make a trip mid lane, help shove out this mid lane wave, and it's just gonna be Ellie and Joyce working in tandem. Now, what this Aurelion Soul really wants to do, and what Joyce is helping him do, secure his base timing, get him high health enough, get him some mana, let him get him buy-in. He's gonna push the wave, he's gonna fly to top lane, and he's gonna kill PP over and over again.
Oh boy, speaking of killing PP, he might just be the one that gets taken down. Last ticket to ignite, and Sean just shows who's the more dominant Baron player.
Yeah, and it kind of got interrupted a bit there, but it was the Control 7, oh, I'm not sure what you call it, the level 5, level 6 mastery, flashing over the head of the Shy, showing his mastery of the champion. That was very clean. That's exactly what I mean, right? Play the matchup to its limits, push it to the edge, toe the line. That's exactly what Shy did. Outplays PP, gets the solo kill, crosses the Bramble Vest purchase, and he's gonna take a 500-600 gold lead in this lane matchup.
Yeah, and that also forces a Bramble Vest so early, where ideally as Darius you want to play aggressively, you want to eventually build up that Trinity Force, if ever the case would be. Or perhaps just go for Black Cleaver. Either one would actually work. Now, going back into this whole matchup with Ellie here, who could easily roam up with pretty much a Cosmic Drive across any lanes in particular. I want to see that giant stun that he could actually pull off against LFD, if that could ever happen. Extra thought points.
For sure, for sure. I mean, in the mid to late game, that's definitely something you should expect to see from the Aurelion. So, for now, I think we're just going to be expecting to see him fly into PP's lane and just, you know, harass him a little bit, punish him a little bit, and see what he can do there.
Yeah, PP doesn't mind a little bit of tease here because he's always getting help from Wolf, and I think that's how they managed to actually get a little bit more lead coming into the past game. And Team Flash still thriving with Chaos. But the problem is, Ellie in the mid lane is consistently getting poked. No, he doesn't mean he says, I don't mind, just give me more of that. Like, you're not going to be able to drag over. You're just going to damage me, and I challenge you to a duel.
Every time we look at the mid lane,
oh boy, Pippi. And it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Shy will give up his life for it. He doesn't have flash available. And Wolf will still be the one to back that kill. So, as you were saying, Momo.
Yeah, I mean, I think Shy is still happy with that one, trading 1-for-1. He loses out on the wave, and he's still gonna get a hit. But yeah, Ellie in the mid lane. I do think the Jarvan pick is a great answer. Picks up the GAs once again. He's gonna be happy just jumping into team fights yet again, like we saw in the last game. But this time around, he's actually getting more control of his lane. He's constantly poking out the ASO every time we look at mid lane.
Interesting rotation coming in from PP. He managed to pull them right under the turret. Just a little bit of apprehend while there is a temp on the Herald. Very sneaky move coming in from Wolf. So, Wolf, let's talk about his vibe performance in that past match. Because he looked pretty good, I must say. But the rest of LFD has to follow suit.
Yeah, he did look pretty good. And I think that a lot of that is also because of Wed. These two worked very well in tandem as the diving buddies. They dived into every team fight together. Anytime they saw Squishy by himself, they would just jump on him 2v1, and they would just do so much burst damage that it's enough to pick anyone off. This time around, it's gonna be so much harder, I feel. There's a barrier on Kai'Sa, the shields and healing from Rakan. There's a Kai'Sa ultimate to get out of Cataclysm. Surely this game, Ellie will buy a Zhonya's hourglass. And I think all these factors added up just makes it so hard for Wolf and Gwen to succeed, to excel. And you do have the combo, right? You have the combo of Vi out and 6-bomb. But it's Herald.
Yeah, Harold getting sneaked out, looking for that. He secures that one as he slides through the wall. So, Glory D just giving a little bit of cover from the back for Ellie. And my LFD, at least they got that party straight this time around. They managed to go for that take so quietly, and Team Flash was just a little bit too.
Yeah, that should not have happened, to be honest with you. They have such a huge lead in the Baron lane. Shy is so far ahead. He's level 8 to level 7 on PP's Darius here, as well as they have an Aurelion Soul mid lane, who is so easy to roam for anytime that he so chooses. He can just fly over to the fight location. And they still lost the Rift Herald. That should not be happening.
Here
But of
comes
choice.
Bolt Victor, and everything else comes right in. Wolf tries to get a little bit more room as he smites to recover health, while the Thunderbolt drops right in. It does not lock the rest of Team Flash. And look at looking for Daddy. They got this triple dunk setup, and they got the whole side of Dragon Pit all well secured, but they're still vision though.
Yeah, the problem right now is the lane assignments from Team Flash. Dialing is not there. Dialing has been at the bot lane, and he's not been able to participate and help in any fights. They need to make sure it's Aurelion Soul or Irelia catching the side lane. You cannot have your Kai'Sa going down there. I get the logic, you want your Aurelion Soul in mid lane so that he can roam to either side lane. But Dialing has not been able to participate in any fights, and that's something that they did so well in the previous game. Team Flash constantly had his Varus at mid. Ellie is having a very sad time this game around. Keeps getting poked out. Here we go on PP.
Meanwhile, Vanguard's edge being popped. But
Flash.
it's definitely dangerous to dive Darius all alone. So, yeah, you're definitely having a lot of great solid pointers out there, and I guess they're just waiting for that mid game to happen in Team Flash. Gotta tidy up their play a little bit, and I'm just hoping for something huge like Vanguard's Edge connecting alliance, because that it's going to be a Bolt Breaker, Assault Battery, all used up. Shy get dunked, and looking for Daddy. Left feature, trying to add those numbers, but it will still fall to the hands of Wolf.
And that's the power of Vi, right? We always talk about how it's a one-dimensional champion, but what she's good at doing, she is really good at doing. When she gets on your squishies, when she gets on your carries, she just locks them down, makes them unable to move, and completely nullifies a more than 1,000 gold lead that Shy had over PP. You can't do anything if you can't move, and he's the richest person in the game right now. Yet again, Wolf on this Vi. Teams that are facing LFD, they might want to consider banning this away at this point.
Yeah, and just look at the current state. It feels like this Vi is doing so much more than Joyce, who is putting the Renekton inside the jungle. So, you know, they are just hoping to flex their way out of this, but the rest of Looking for Daddy is coming right in. That's where PP pulls them right under the turret. Here comes Megalith Little Bomb, taking down their health bars. While that is a great quickness there that pulls them right back. Shy, just down the health bars, but that is all that they could possibly do for the moment. Looking for Daddy, got that one kill.
And do you know what the problem here is, Contra? Look at the map. Look at who is not in the fight. It's the marksman, yet again. Dialing, every spell available, cannot be participating because he's been stuck in the bottom lane with poor lane assignments from Team Flash. They're gonna lose this turret.
Yeah, and there goes Win, who is hoping to dive right in. It's a little bit of a safe distancing coming in from Team Flash for the moment. As we hit 9 minutes, look at the items now. I think that this is definitely something that's interesting. 2 games in a row. First item GA, and that actually allows Wolf to go in for full damage items on that fight that we've been highlighting on in the past couple of minutes. So, is it going to be a semi-build coming from that Darius?
I think he's gonna go full tank from this point on out. He's not ahead enough, and he just wants to make sure he can be a frontline in the team fight. Because look at Wolf, same thing as last game. He built full damage, let his team frontline for him, let Wen frontline for him. All he needs is the Guardian's Angel, and he's gonna go Glass Cannon and try to just pop people. What's gonna counter this is when the Zhonya's Hourglasses start coming out, then a lot more of the burden falls onto. But if you consider the way LFD's damage types work, their only consistent source of DPS is Ziggs. If Darius doesn't get a reset off, Ziggs is going to be the only one dishing out damage in the mid to late game.
That's a very fair point out there. So, heading to that late game, definitely looking quite scary for Looking for Daddy if that's going to be the case. Oh, here comes the charge.
Yep, what you were looking for, Contra. It's a bit underwhelming, though.
A little bit. Maybe without the turret out of the way. I mean,
Yep.
That could
Better
be
luck
something.
next time.
Yeah.
Alternatively, he could have timed it so that he would end up mid during Dragon Spawn time, but it's a bit unfortunate. Look at this though. Shy wants to make a rotation down. Looks like both teams want to fight this. This could be the big 5v5 that breaks the stalemate.
Just setting up some vision right now. Looking for Daddy now. having the health bar of the Drake taken down to 50%. The rest of Team Flash might just be able to actually respawn. Now, if so little health bars left, look for that he should be able to secure it with the smite, but they collapse overall. The quickness connects the two. Over the back, Calculus locks everybody in place. Vanguard Edge on the back, Die doing it as he finds a little bit first base, flashes over the wall, while the rest of Team Flash are just taking them out. It might just be an early ace, but Wen will be able to move right out of the way. And Wolf just dancing off the Flash over the wall. He will survive, but Team Flash, they may have lost the Drake, but they got those kills to find great opening up mid.
And my MVP for that fight, my unsung hero for the series so far, is Glory D. Finding the angle on the flank, he wraps up. I think he chomps almost everyone on the side of LFD. Didn't get the best knock-up, but look at this Rakan approach here. He chomps the backline. He should have been content with just knocking up the carries, but he went for the tank, a bit of a misplay. But now this leaves the Shy to just get onto Juan. He uses both charges of his Blade Surge. That was a bit of a mistake. If he played that a little bit better, I think he 15 house. But it doesn't matter. You get the important target, which is Juan, who I think was a kind of misplay because he has Flash, he has Barrier, he didn't use those two spells, and it won't matter. Joyce gets taken down out of replay, but that ties the gold lead up, and this might be LFD trying to flip Baron.
Well, that's a really early call. Aren't sure about this. Great knockup. Here comes the Brilliant Soul. Probably for the stun, the Vanguard Edge will keep them at bay. And that's where one kill goes over to Ellie while the flank attack connects. And they lock them inside a Cataclysm while Dilling will have just about enough to survive all that outburst. Well, when goes down, LFD called the shot a little bit too early.
And it's a disaster yet again for LFD. They cannot afford to lose another fight. The goal lead swinging to Team Flash. And now it's going to be a Baron. It's going to swing even more. Now, Contra, we identified that the DPS was going to be an issue for the side of LFD. They only had Juan on that Ziggs to be the primary damage dealer. He drops at the start of the fight. Yet again, with both sums up, and you see what happens at the end of the fight. Wen locks up basically both carries on the side of Team Flash with his Cataclysm, but there's no damage to follow up. He's full tank on this Jarvan. Wolf on a Vi is not going to be the carry, despite the fact that he's building damage, and that looks like LFD, they've just run out of steam.
Indeed, right? If you look into LFD, if they do initiate fight, it might actually look pretty good when you layer down all the elements. But when it comes down to defense, there's only Chi to rely on with a good Glacial Fissure, and that's just about it. What can Juan actually do in that very moment? It just felt like it's too much of pressure coming in, especially that Vanguard's Edge caught majority of the members of Looking for Daddy. They have no exit plan, and that is going to be a lot tougher than what they thought this matchup would be. And just looking back at Ellie as well, he's moving in to many of these fights as if he's a tank. Yeah, he's got that rallies, but I think that is an interesting move from Arlen.
That's something that people tend to not realize about a Brilliant Soul, right? He gets to basically hyper carry status in the late game if he's untouched. He does a bunch of damage, he has utility, and he's tanky. Bit of a threat there from Wolf.
Well, this is where they bring up the Baron power play on both sides of the lane, but Baron lane is unattended, so there's a little bit more room.
Yeah, Baron lane is unattended right now, so that's going to be a pretty even mid wave, but no one really cares about that wave because they're trying to push the bases down right now. Dialing Foster Jonas to mispositioning that they're going to be pushing both lanes.
And that's the dunk coming from PP. He doesn't really get any sort of reset off. Joyce, you really get to take it down, and LFD, they choose to collapse. Vanguard's Edge onto 4, and he dives right in, but that GA will be popped. And, well, 4D will be the next ones to be on a chopping block while Dilling tries to deal with Wolf all alone. LFD, they manage a defense while Team Flash, they got caught over here once more, but Wolf, he might just do it, Dilling! One ticket HP, and he survives with some great shutdown onto the Vi.
Indeed. And Dilling right there. Launches that one out. Look, Wolf has the assault of Vault Breaker. Is that what it's called? The Vault Breaker?
Well, Assault Battery.
Assault and Berry. Okay, it doesn't matter. He has the ultimate available, but Dialing comboed it so well that he blocked the Plasma and he basically one-shotted Wolf out of GA before he could get outed. And you know, we criticize a lot of Flash's decision-making, their lane assignments. Why did you consistently put this Kai'Sa in the Dragon lane? He's solo farming the whole game, he can't contribute to any fight, and though that led to them losing out in a lot of team fights, a lot of skirmishes, the counterpoint to that is if you funnel your Kai'Sa solo farm, solo experience, he's gonna be level 14, 2 levels up with 1, higher level than his mid laner, and he's gonna have 3.5 items right now on this Kai'Sa. He is looking to 1v9 this game. Well,
that's a very long connection of the Assault Battery, and I'm glad that you bring up about Billing, because last match he was looking pretty good on his marksman role as well, and he's so reliable to the point where you see Team Flash going for so many of all these chaotic fights. He always remains at a very good, safe position, so gotta give credit to that.
Yeah, you definitely do, and I think that at this point, the Vi pick, we always criticize it, it's kind of running out of steam, right? You saw what happened when you tried to out the Rakan? Rakan just dashes 2 screens away and there's no follow-up. You're a damaged Vi, but you're not a carry. You're not going to make it. If you have a tag Baron laner, tag mid laner, well yeah, this Baron is an afterthought. It's basically gone at this point in a blink of an eye. Joyce pops his ulti, and that's the biggest commitment they have to make to secure Baron for themselves.
Well, it's Baron number 2. And Team Flash, they can call the shots right now. Looking for Daddy, playing a little bit more defensively. And Shy goes in, Vanguard edge. 1 million flashes over. Well, that is Chi trying to tank it all out. And, well, Team Flash, very happy with that.
Yeah, well, Shy faked out the members of LFD, but he also faked me out. I thought he was going to go in, but he's just being a bit fancy.
But here comes Ricardo. He goes right in. Diving turret.
There we
and
go.
Ellie trickling down the health bars as Wolf flies 4 times. Here comes the sun! Cataclysm blocks them in place. But Team Flash, I think they don't have to clear them all up. They will be able to eventually secure this game. And that's a convincing 3-0 for Team Flash.
And Team Flash, they did